Welcome to T-Bone's Best of Roanoke show. Music, comedy, and conversation featuring HB, the Honey Badger.
Honey Badger don't care.
Now, on with the show.
This is Radio Free Roanoke, and this is episode 170, T-Bone's Best of Roanoke show. He's Bryan, Harvest Blaque, Hancock.
That's it.
Good morning, young man.
Good morning. Good morning.
HB, we got a dandy today.
Yeah.
I've looked a little bit about this gentleman. He's all over the media. If we find anything he hasn't done in media today, it'll be a milestone.
Oh wow.
But yeah, you've done a lot. Everybody we interview, Bryan, we always ask them, who would be an interesting person to interview? Your name came up twice.
Oh,
That's
well,
pretty good.
I'm grateful. Yeah.
You might hold the
I'm
record.
grateful. Yeah.
Carrie Hurley, lead singer for the Thrillbillies.
That's my guy.
He is the guy.
Yeah.
And Amy Trow from the Ursula's Cafe and Big Lit Conspiracy Improv.
Yep, we're in the same improv group. I've known Amy for over 20 years or so. She's one of them. I call her Big Sis. Yeah,
She's a gem.
Yep, that's one of my best friends. So yep.
So I want to hit on our community. You do a lot for our community.
Yeah.
I want to talk about hip hop.
Okay.
Music, and then I want to finish up on the soul sessions.
Okay.
Because you're big in that.
Yep.
But do us the thumbnail sketch. Who is Harvest B?
I'm
What's the background?
I would say an artist. I enjoy making and creating things. I've been writing since I was a kid, DJing, and my aunt, she's the one that got me into writing about my feelings because, my parents divorced when I was younger. I've lived here my whole life. So
Born and raised here?
Born and raised here.
Wow.
So,
Nice.
all my family's here, but mom was in and out of treatment. And, I lived a lot with my grandparents, so I'm kind of old soul because of them. I was raised on a lot of soul records, and, my aunt introduced me to hip-hop. I've been writing ever since I was 9, and so it's like, I applied those things to my life, and, I had good friends say, hey, you really should be doing this. So, like, I never really thought about it before. I enjoy it. It's something I do, but sometimes when you take your passions, you can transform those passions into your reality and make it more than a dream. Yeah. And so, like, with it, I've been able to meet with great people who have been very supportive, a home base of fans that start as your family and your friends tell your story because the music and the things that you're doing. So I've been grateful to have them kind of like, say, hey, what's going on with you now? And it just kind of did its own thing. So
Just took off from there.
Yep.
I'm curious, when you were staying with your aunt and you were exposed to music, what kind of music was she playing? Was it like
Motown?
Al
Yeah,
Green
it
or
was
Fab Five Freddy? Or
it was a mixture of everything. I had a very healthy mixture of everything. I was living with my grandparents for the most part when I was younger, but my aunt, she was listening to Beastie Boys. She was listening to Tears for Fears. She was listening to a great mixture and hip hop heavy. So it was like you had Queen Latifah always playing. You did downstairs on Saturday nights. You'd have Al Green, James Brown with my grandparents, and actually I inherited their record collection.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so it's like Ray Charles.
Yeah, I grew up listening to that.
A lot of great stuff, and then so some of that base and foundation of music gave me, I wanted to know what else was out there, and I wanted to make my own music. So it's like for me, great music is universal, and if people enjoy it, it's important to put your heart and soul in it. Great artists can tell you who they are, and why we should listen to them right now. And that's in any genre, whether it be that, because like I also love comedy, so I grew up on Red Fox, I grew up on Richard Pryor, I grew up on Eddie Murphy, I grew up with watching Saturday Night Live when I was very young. So it's like you have these things that come in, you kind of filter in what you like and, kind of toss away the rest. And so it's like, I had a healthy education of all that stuff growing up, just pop culture. So,
Well, we were discussing off air right before we started. for America, I think it was like maybe August of '73 in the Bronx that hip hop
Yep.
got started.
Clive Campbell. Yep. Kool Herc.
Yeah.
He's the one that, you know, he was doing a birthday party for his sister, and, you know, the dilapidated area of the Bronx, pretty much war torn, and it's like you had greedy, you know, developers and landlords burning their own property down.
Right.
And so with it is this something from nothing that happened that is something that we could all be proud of. We couldn't afford guitars, we couldn't afford, you know, those things, but Clive Campbell came to America, and then, you know, he grew up and accidentally invented the merry-go-round, and you know, as far as like that break beat and listen to the beats and having somebody rap over it and keeping the party going, you know, it's a beautiful thing, and it formed this culture, whether it be break dancing, graffiti, which is beautiful, dance, like and turntablism and saying your words, whether it be Gil Scott Heron doing poetry, whether it be hip hop, just rapping and telling your story and showing the world something that you don't quite get to see every day.
50 years.
Yeah, 50 years. Yep.
So that's evolved, hasn't it?
Oh yeah. It's evolved, and I mean, there's some elements and things that I don't enjoy now, but you know, there's a big difference between hip hop and rap. Hip hop has always been a culture of truth, and even when that truth is ugly, we expose it. You know, cautionary tales. You do have some people who do it, you know, different ways. Rap has always been about the lie. Rap has always been about the braggadocious things. We live in a culture now, sometimes we see a lot of, which is unfortunate, people who put on a facade, glorifying some of the negative things like addiction, misogyny, and violence. This culture here lately that has like put much highlight on murdering and not knowing the gift of life, and so it's important to know that, you know, that's not who we are, and so it's more about us trying to like get back to this place of evolution instead of these corporate sponsors that pretty much are tearing down the culture. At least this is my opinion, but like, you know, there are some greats that come out of it. You have Kendrick Lamar, you have J. Cole, you have Joey Badass. You have a lot of different artists that tell it. I mean, Nas just put out another classic album. He put out Magic Part 2, and he's been doing this thing where he's been challenging the culture. He even went on television the other day and said, you know, challenging the greats and said, hey, make art. Just make art. And, you know what I'm saying? Be selfish with it, you know, because I think it's important to tell your story.
Tell your story.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, now, what have you've gotten involved in that? So you do music as well, right? So tell us about that, what you've done. Tell us about your assessment of the music scene here in Roanoke.
I love the music scene here in Roanoke. We could do a lot better on certain things as far as like narrowing the playing field a little bit more, because we don't see a lot of artists of color in our area playing out on a consistent basis. I won't name the place, but you know, there's a local music venue here who is you know, said that I don't fit. I don't fit. But if I live here, I fit.
Right.
And I'm not meant to fit. I'm supposed to stand out. And whatever I'm doing, I'm going to stand out, and best believe it. You know, and that's not cocky. That's from a place of confidence of knowing of my skill set and how I can evolve with that skill set. But we had a local, you know, my drummer, he was really upset because it was like, you know, I travel and I do stuff with a live band. We can see it when it's with some white artists, they can cover hip hop music and they can maneuver and stuff like that. But sometimes when it comes to my brand, I'm very unapologetic, and you know, I don't really use a lot of derogatory words in my music, but I use the words that reflect me telling the story. But yeah, it's very unfortunate, But you had a venue here locally that's known for music, and you know, my drummer really wanted to play there, and you know, we were told that we weren't a fit for their crowd.
Just weren't fit. So where would you fit here in Roanoke? And you had an album too, The Mind Scrub, right?
Yeah. The Mind Scrub is done well. It did really well over UK, Germany. I did my first German interview. It was a few months ago. I say February, and you know, music does well overseas. College radios picked it up, and I've been grateful to have that kind of underground following.
Yes. You're international.
Yeah. You know, I it's just for whoever enjoys it, because like I enjoy making music, and sometimes like I just enjoy the dynamic of just telling stories through or whatever I'm going through, and getting it out. It's therapy for me.
And you kind of reflect the times, I would say, you're going through, right?
Yeah, and that's what it is. I'm working on my second album now. It's called the Care Package, which is kind of more of a thing where I'm reflecting of the things that I'm seeing in society, but also what I'm going through. Because, I mean, I know better about that than some of these things that people try to, like, wear hats and say so much. We live in a time where we don't get enough rest or do self-care because we're so wanting to be in front of the camera all the time that there's no time to kind of like build and find out what our personal time looks like and enjoy things. I was just at breakfast a little while ago, and a woman had her phone set up like, hey, we're live on Facebook.
Right.
And I was like, what for? Just eat your breakfast. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I don't need to know.
I don't know. But, you know, fame is fleeting.
Yes, that's right.
It's very fleeting, but the things that you're looking for, they come better for you when you find out that you don't need all that. You know, and I found, I mean, for myself personally, you know, with it, I've had highs in my life, I have lows in my life, but you really learn who was really for you when you're quiet, and quiet is good.
Yeah.
You teach, or you did teach, a Hip Hop 101 at the Jefferson Center?
Yeah.
Is that right? Or you still do that?
I'm a consultant now. I'm working with some of the guys that have taken over. New kid, forgive me, I know he goes by Hero. That's his hip hop name. Bryan, I can't name his last name, but shout out to him. He's taken over, and through the pandemic, we started digitally teaching hip hop. But last year we got the kids back into the space, which is a beautiful place, the Music Lab at Jefferson, and just teaching them what it means to hone their craft and tell their stories through music. And even if you're not trying to be a hip hop artist in music technology, you know, you can make music now with like the beat making and stuff that can be placed in ads, commercials, movies, you know, or even with hip hop and just like talking from your experience, you're teaching public speaking and getting kids literacy. I'm a big advocate for literacy programs. I'm a big advocate for reading and getting in your bubble and finding out what makes you great.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you do work with Boys and Girls Club.
Yes, and I still volunteer for them. I'm no longer with them full time, but like I volunteer for them. I've worked with them for about 3 years, and you know, great opportunity. It was just a great opportunity. I wish I knew about the Boys and Girls Club when I was a kid.
Really? Yeah.
You know, because like, you know, when I was a teenager, I was a latchkey kid. A lot of things that I'm self-taught for the most part out of just curiosity. You know.
Do you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
Yes.
You had two quotes I listened to. One was, failure is part of the process.
Yes.
And you don't believe in luck.
I don't believe in luck.
Those two
no.
jumped out.
No. It's for me, it's about what you do. And if you don't do it, then you can't blame anybody but yourself. So yeah, it's important to have that ingenuity and the spirit of entrepreneurialism to make your own table, because there's so many people that already have their table and they're only really concerned about the circle and the manner of which they work. My whole thing is always about what can I do better and what can I do more efficient, and being in the place of finding out what my purpose is and evolving with purpose.
Right.
And it's like, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm breathing, and I live here. I might as well make it better.
That's right. Now what?
Now what? Yep.
Yeah.
I'm always asking that. So.
That's right. All right, HB, this is a good story. I want you to touch on this, Bryan. A month or 2 months ago, you and JP Powell collaborated on It's Here.
Yep.
It's a video, and this is for the Roanoke Economic Development Team.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us that story, because it's a neat story. We promote ourselves as an outdoors area, maybe beer,
Yeah.
or trains, or whatever. But there's other angles. Arts
Yeah.
and culture.
Arts and culture is important, and there was a study last December that showed that a lot of my work was helping with economic development through Carilion in its programming. A hospital report showed that. So it's a thing where you're getting people excited about their lives. You're getting people excited about their art, and those things are important. To take some time out to hone your skill. And it doesn't have to necessarily be art. It could be a trade. It could be a job.
Right.
But the thing is, it's like, self-esteem is important. Mm-hmm. Community is important. And having a genuine conversation about how you can make these things better to move people forward. Those are the things that we should be doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They just need a little bump sometimes. And
Yeah,
it's amazing
yeah.
what you can
turn
something into.
And then actively listening to the communities that we're serving, especially if you're in a leadership position. I have nothing but time to listen, especially when we're talking about ideas or things that we've been through. But yeah, it's a thing of realizing that we have to get beyond the surface in these boxes that we try to check by generalizations and stereotypes to find out what the people want. Mm-hmm. We have these ideas of making this a tourist attraction, but you have to deal with the actual things that are happening in our communities, block by block. And if you're not in a position to try to do those things, then you're not in the right place.
Right.
And it's just simple and plain.
Right.
In the video that you and Mr. Powell put
Yep.
together, did you write the lyrics?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wrote the lyrics.
They were good. One of them was the pen that was like a sword, or Mario
Yep.
with a sword,
Yep.
and Home Sweet Home, I think is how you
Yeah.
did it. It's just
Yeah.
it's a 3-minute video, HB, and it's very, very well done.
Yeah.
Who all collaborated with you?
I was me. Actually, Amy Trowell's husband, Jordan Fallon. He played a little bit on that, and you had the Roanoke Children's Choir, and you had Roanoke Symphony Orchestra. You also had Opera Roanoke. So many people just a labor of love just to say to this community, just put his arms around it to say, hey, these things are here and they're to our advantage.
Yeah.
Let's get charged up about it, and it take me out of it. You know what I'm saying? These things are here.
That's right.
to show you what you can do, and ask yourself how we can do these things to make home better.
That's right.
Yeah.
And sometimes the things we take for granted here are very attractive to outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
And that video shows a lot of the things that we do here, we
Yeah.
have here. And it's a very attractive package.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
you were looking to move here or move a business here, that's part of the equation.
Yes.
What's the arts and culture?
Yeah. And having that be the boost is a thing that can build more bridges.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, definitely.
All right. Then let's get into your soul sessions.
Okay.
How long has that been going on? Tell us what that is.
Soul Sessions has been around for it'll be 10 years this February. We made a move to Thursday nights at Ursula's.
Cafe?
Yeah, Ursula's. Yeah, we have been there for about a year, but before that, we partnered up with Versus, which was a music venue.
Right over there.
Yeah, right over there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we pride ourselves in getting people into a human experience, and through poetry and music, and having conversations through poetry and music, to give people a chance an opportunity to talk about their life. Like I said, it's important to find out who we are, why we are, and why now. The original group that were in it, they've gone on to great things. Some people have moved out of the country. Some people are working for other amazing artists. And it's just about helping people find their voice through creative writing and poetry, and
getting up in front of people.
Yeah, and getting up. Yeah,
exposing yourself.
Yeah, because if for that, it's like you cannot judge, because they're talking from a deep place of their experiences, and it's a beautiful thing.
So you have these monthly at Ursula's?
We're going we're going to, like, it used to be weekly, but now, with my schedule changing, we're moving to Thursdays, and it's like every other Thursday.
Every other Thursday.
Yeah.
So you're like the host?
Yes, I've hosted for about 9 years now.
Oh, my word.
So yeah.
All right. So let's walk through this then. So if somebody's got a story in their heart, how do they show up over there and sign up? Yeah,
they can sign up. You get 5 minutes. Some people have been trying to push that boundary. Lord help me.
What's like? You give them 5 minutes.
I give them 5 minutes, and 5 minutes is honestly plenty.
That's
of time.
A lot of time.
Yeah.
But like some people still like, I want 7, and they'll try to say, can I do one more? And they'll look back at me, and I'm like, we gotta keep, because it's a shared time, it's a shared experience, and that's what I'm trying to help people identify. It's about building community and recognizing your champion in the room, because everybody has one. I had one person come all the way from Virginia Tech a few years ago, and they talked about the experience of what it was like losing their friend that day when that awful shooting happened.
Oh, it's Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Or, you have somebody that comes out of the closet and they're telling their story about the rejection of their family members. And, somebody getting up from the crowd and hugging them, and there's just being empathetic and building this bridge. And empathy to me is a bridge to action. And so I'm seeing it kind of transform right in front of my eyes, people building community with each other, because they're aware, and it makes them accountable. Even if you don't know what to do in those moments, you identify and say, hey, I see you. I see you, and I hope that whatever you're going through gets better.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we all did that a lot more,
yes,
God knows we'd be a lot better off.
Yeah, we'd be more aware of it.
Yeah, we'd be a lot more aware.
Yeah. Now, let's say Honey Badger and I, we haven't quite formulated our poem. Can we come down there and like sit in on a couple of sessions and get a feel for the vibe?
Yeah, get a feel for the vibe. That's why I always try to tell, like, some people will come down and I'm just going to wing it. And sometimes that doesn't go well at all. And you can watch it in real time. But it's like you're rooting for people regardless. There's some people have come in there and they've been there in like 5-10 years and never said a word. And then one day, like, I'm going to do this. And then they do it and they kill it. And it's amazing to me. But it's about a non-judgmental atmosphere of people who are fearless and coming to this place of awakening for themselves and building self-esteem and building through free-form poetry and music, and it's a proving ground for them to just kind of do whatever they want to do. But
that must be nice. You're in a catbird seat. You get to see people start off as a rookie and maybe grow.
It's
awesome.
It's a beautiful thing. Like I said, one artist, she was there frequently. Actually, was on my staff, helping me develop programming. Now she works for the office of Ibram Exkendi up in D.C. And so it's just like different people who have come, and you know we've had actual like you know poets just drop in, like you know famous artists have come through. We've had television writers come through. We've had you know people we had no idea knew who we were, and you know famous poets are just sitting in the audience sometimes, and they come in and like. You know, they're just like gracious and they kill it, and you know, we all hang out, and it's been a great experience. The show has brought so much generosity and a reciprocation of just love over the past few years. I'm very grateful for it. I'm grateful for this experience. It's changed me.
It's changed you.
It's changed me a lot.
You.
Yeah.
And so for the folks who don't know it, Ursula's is on Jefferson, right? And so it's not hard to find. It's right there on the corner.
Right there.
Right there. So we've been there before. So it's a very nice place that Amy and her husband run there. All right. We're going to wind down here, but before we do, you have so much information on the web. But one of the things I enjoyed was your food likes, and you said you really like the French toast at Breadcraft. Is that still true?
Oh man, they need to bring it back, man.
What?
Last time
I want to try it.
Yeah, I call, and it's funny because I found out they had started breakfast, but they only do breakfast certain few days. I still go to Breadcraft here and there, but yeah, that was my favorite thing. Like I would go, and on a Saturday morning, I get up early, like right when they first open, and like I'd have the French toast, and they had this bacon, and it was so amazing. And it was like I like there's no recreation of it. They own it. They are the masters of that. I tell you that.
Yeah, they're good stuff.
So yeah, that is one place I love getting my French toast. Like if they please bring it back.
I'm gonna pitch for it. Then
Yeah.
I didn't know it. I want to try it. Where else you like to eat in town? We like food.
I go to a lot of places around town. There's oh gosh, man, I can't even think of them. There's so many different places that I go.
Well, let me ask you this, and then I'll give HB his final thoughts too, and then we'll finish up with you. We mentioned music earlier, and you said you inherited a record collection, I guess.
Yeah.
But Vinyl Vault.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been there?
Yeah, that's where I got. I get a lot of my records from Vinyl Vault. Shout out to Dave.
Yeah.
I've known Dave for a long time, and you know we've kind of like we've got this bond, you know, and like he's gotten a lot of more recent hip hop records in there because he knows I'm looking for them. So it's around here. Dave is the man. And
that's right over on Church.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, and that's where we met because that's where Soul Sessions got its start. Was inside of 16 West Marketplace.
Yes.
Okay.
John Garland.
So John Garland, yeah, you know, shout out to him because
good man.
He was just like, you know, yeah, they gave me a key. They was like, just lock up. I was like, give me the key. So.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, HB. Any last?
I just want to comment about the video that was made to promote Roanoke.
Yeah.
And it was so good. And I think y'all used the bridge going over the railroad from the Hotel Roanoke.
Yeah.
On that, and I was so impressed with that thing. I didn't comment when we was talking about it earlier, but I was replaying it in my mind because you did such a good job.
Yeah,
that thing is impressive. It really
Thank
is.
you.
Yeah.
It's called It's Here.
It's
If
Here.
you haven't seen it, go on YouTube, I suppose. You can find it there. Or the Roanoke Arts Commission might have it. But it's all around.
It's all
here.
around. Yeah.
Got anything new in the pipe coming?
I'm working, like I said, right now musically. I put out a single called "Shame the Devil." It's just me being angsty because sometimes like people like they think that, you know, some people like to take advantage of my kindness, and so I make songs about whatever I'm feeling. So "Shame the Devil's" out now. I'm in the process of working at Flat 5 Studio with Byron Pomack, who took over, and I work there sometimes, and I'm developing the Care Package, which is going to be out probably later this fall.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just in the process of making music and having fun, and you know, trying to support my family, was just me and my dog Buddy,
That's a good
my mom, and I have a great circle of friends and family. So
You keep a lot of irons in the fire. It sounds like with everything you're touching.
yeah. I've slowed down a lot because I work full time now for Carillion. I'm activity tech for them now, and so I work on the third floor, adolescent floor. And we're dealing with different psych patients and cases and trying to get kids into a place of knowing that, they have their whole life ahead of them. And, working on coping skills, working on creative writing skills, and, letting them know that they're fearfully and wonderfully made. And it's important to get back into finding out what they're about beyond the noise, because
Right.
it's like the bullies come home now. Like, you got the internet, and kids. It's just like even here locally in our backyard. It's like it's like everybody. Some kids want to play these tough guy personas and stuff like that. You don't have to be that. You can just be yourself, and that's why I try to impart and let them know and mentor, and just spend time, because I know what it's like. Growing up in a single parent home and.
Yeah.
Not having the best shoes and not having this, and sometimes getting kicked and punched in the stomach and all these other things. It's like I feel like this is my way of giving back.
Yeah.
And spending time and trying to develop positive relationships and let them know that, hey, take your time.
Yeah.
Well,
Take your time.
Good for you, man. Way to go.
Way to go. Well, I'll give you the last word. Is there anything we left out? Your fingerprints are on everything, so we haven't even touched all the stuff you do. Is there any last words you want, or anything we forgot we want to mention?
Oh, I don't know, man. It's just I'm gonna keep doing what I can. You know, that's what I'm about. I'm about having fun. It's time to get back to just doing what you love and letting that work, and stop making so many things about these legacies that don't move.
Yeah.
It's important to leave your heart beat after you're dead and gone.
Oh.
So the challenge to us, especially not just here in Roanoke but anywhere, is to leave a legacy that's still breathing after you're gone.
Yeah. Well, you're a big positive plus for Roanoke. That's
Thank
no
you.
doubt.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
All right.
I'll close on this. Typically, there's two types of people. You either do or you don't. And as far as making our community better, you do.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
Thank
sir.
you, my man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much
Oh
for
my
being
God.
here.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.